So, John, one of those games certainly wasn't for the purists, but to be fair, both teams made a decent game of that out there.
Yeah, not the ideal conditions, but like you say, both teams obviously scrapping for the 3 points, and they're a good team. So it was overall we're happy with the point.
Yeah, and it's one of those games coming into it that you probably would have taken a point, and it's a game as well that either side could have potentially nicked. But Whitby, in terms of chances created, no complaints there.
No, we've had a few chances. Disappointing not to get the goal before half time. I think it would have been harsh if we'd lost the game, and they probably felt the same. Obviously, we feel like we had the better of opportunities, but overall, draw's probably a fair result.
Yeah, you look at how the goal came about for Hyde, and it was just kind of back of a spell where they were starting to look a bit more lively inside the area, and eventually got that goal after a bit of pressure in midfield. Sort of Whitby giving the ball away, but that's disappointing aspect really is just the manner I suppose that the ball was given away in the first place.
Yeah, definitely. We're disappointing because we spoke about it before the game. Obviously, the pitch, the conditions, taking too many touches, especially in the middle of the pitch. And that's exactly what happened. We took too many touches. Ball nicks off us and they break it. And to be fair, the lad's done well. He's a good little player, the left winger. He's had a decent career. So, it's disappointing with the goal, but great character from the lads to bring it back.
Yeah, and Redshaw as well got the goal. One of those players that was causing quite a few problems all evening, really.
Yeah, and we knew that was going to be the case because, like you say, he's had a half decent career, the lad, and you've got to give him respect. And no, he's a good player. And I thought overall the night we dealt with him quite well, but obviously a couple of occasions he found himself in, and obviously the first one was a goal.
Yeah, and obviously disappointing to be behind, but fair play to Whitby there. They didn't let their heads drop, and they were trying to push for an equaliser pretty much straight away before half time.
Yeah, and I think we were unlucky not to be ahead. To be honest, we had a couple of great chances. Jake's had a header where he didn't quite time it right, and Connor's had a good header, which you'd expect Connor to do a lot better, hit the target at least. Roy's had a half chance off a corner, so it was disappointing not to get the goal. But like you say, the manner we conceded the first goal was very disappointing because it's exactly what we spoke about. But the character of the lads was brilliant, and there's a good group of lads in the change room. We said it all year. It's really starting to show. I think the last few weeks that the attitude that the lads have got, and they all stick together, and they're all mates. I think just a bad start of the season. We're always playing catch up, but credit to the lads. The attitude have been spot on.
Yeah, and into the second half as well, that theme of creating chances for Whitby carried on, and but made a couple of changes. Harry Green coming on obviously had a big impact in the goal, but on the whole, it's looking really lively in the final third.
Yeah, we do need to create more chances. That's one thing that we have worked on, spoke about, because I think early on in the season we were playing okay stuff, but we weren't creating the half chances we were trying to get. But I think now with a couple of additions, we can go both ways. We've got kind of the football lads, and you've got kind of the big lads who will mix it. So you've got a bit of both, and the big lads can also play as well. So creating chances is very good, pleasing, especially for me as a forward type player. So it's pleasing to see, and credit to Harry Green as well, because we've been on his case the last few weeks. We want him to learn the game, and he's come on and he's made a good impact, and obviously created the goal for Roy.
Yeah, and looking at that goal, I think Danro's taking it now, isn't he? But a lot of the build-up really just call coming from Harry, because really, given the position, he has no right to really get into the box like that.
No, and like you say, he's in a 1v1 situation, and that's what Harry, to be positive with the 1v1. Don't always wait for sometimes you should wait for the second defender and try beat two, where you may as well just go beat them 1v1 and make something happen, and that's exactly what he's done. And I thought he was brilliant when he came on, so credit to him.
Yeah, slight concern in the second half. Sonny Fergus going off injured. It's one of those that as soon as he went down, there's quite a bit of concern from the Hyde players as well. Do you know much about that one at the moment?
I don't know too much. I know it's sort of groin injury, I think, but we don't know the ins and outs. We'll have to see how it settles down and speak to Jeff, the physio. But to be fair, all credit to Sonny. He's been not very well today, really struggling, and he was determined to play, and at half time he didn't look well at all, and we were thinking about taking him off, but he's determined to stay on the pitch. So the attitude of the boy was first class, and it's disappointing to see an injury to another one of the players who's been doing really well recently. So obviously Haswell Saturday, who's really turned his season round really recently, and he's showing the form that we all know he's got and why he came here in the summer. And Sonny's been the same, so it's disappointing to have 2 injuries, but they'll be stronger for it, and hopefully they're not out for too long.
Yeah, and then just final looking ahead, final home outing of the year on Saturday. Hopefully the pitch will have covered somewhat before that game against Matlock, and again another difficult game, but slightly different type of opponent as well, I imagine.
Yeah, different type of opponent. Obviously we played them first game of the season, so we know roughly what they're about, and we don't mind. We don't favour anybody really. Like I say, we're kind of playing catch up from the beginning of the season, but we can't look too far ahead. It's one game at a time, and these little mini runs, we're on a kind of little mini run, and it needs to keep going now. And like you say, the last game before, just after Christmas, so hopefully we can. The pitch is not going to be great, so we know it's not going to be another game that's not very pretty, but I'm sure it'll be a good test for us, and hopefully we can back this good result up with a positive one on Saturday.
Thank you very much, John.